as you start creating the process of creating your map of feelings, discovering what is your relationship with anger, sadness, fear, and joy, you are going to start discovering different parts of yourself. You're going to start gaining more access to your feelings. And one, there is a distinction that was discovered in the context of possibility management that distinguishes between feelings and emotions. And this is going to be really key. It's going to be an ongoing process of discovery and of questioning. And with the distinction, it creates such powerful clarity about what the feeling or the emotion is for, because it's two very, they feel the same way, but it's two different things. And here I'm gonna share in this video really quickly what the distinction is. Uh, because so an emotion is a feeling that got stuck somewhere in the body. Somewhere as you were growing up, you had an experience where you didn't know how to express your feeling, or you couldn't express your feelings because it was too dangerous, or because it will threaten your life, it will threaten your possibility of survival. So this feeling, it got unexpressed, it stayed unexpressed in your body. There was a something traumatic that happened, and it doesn't even have to be something big or something massive that happened. It could be something as simple as uh, your mama forgot you in the car for 2 or 3 minutes. She forgot she forgot you for 5 minutes in the car, and you made this decision, this big thing happened for you, as an example, that you couldn't express the feelings. So this feeling stayed in your body and it didn't get completed. You had the feeling of fear or sadness or anger, and you couldn't have, there was no space to express it. And then this stays in the body for until you reach to a point where you can complete it, or when you can see it again. But until then, essentially every time you face a situation like that, it that triggers that feeling, the triggers the abandonment in this example. It will trigger that emotion, and it will trigger also the inability to express that feeling. So it will be, I'm doing like this because it's like a incomplete circle. All right, so just to make it a little bit clearer, let's draw it here in the whiteboard, since we have a whiteboard. An emotion is when you had that feeling, that sensation. You had the fear that you were in the car and nobody was coming for you, so you had the sensation, and it didn't get fully completed. It stopped here because you couldn't express it, because there was no time, because your parents wouldn't listen, because your parents were angry, XYZ. And this is just one example. This thing happens over and over and over and over throughout our growing up. There is like so many emotions, incomplete emotions in that stay inside of the body. So anytime that we something like this happens to us, it triggers back the survival mechanism, like this same pattern. It triggers back the emotion, that initial emotion that I'm being abandoned or I'm not being cared for. So then as an adult, uh, the your job of healing is recognizing that pattern, discovering that you have an emotion, and you have something that is not complete, something that is like "Ugh," like getting stuck, and you have the feeling but it gets stuck. And then creating the process of completing it. And for doing the completion, we're gonna be going into this in a different module in the second phase of this program, uh, in the part of reclaiming your authority, where we're gonna go into more details about how you complete the emotion. But for now, I want you to have the distinction that there is two things in the emotional body that can happen. It could be emotion, an emotional reaction, an emotion that you're feeling, an emotion of anger, emotion of fear, and these are about something that happened in the past, something that happened for you that it was not completed. So essentially, you could have an emotional anger or emotional, yeah, you could be angry for hours. You could like be triggered by something and then be angry for hours, and then you're angry and angry and it doesn't go away, and then you get sad and it doesn't go away, and then you get scared about the same thing and it doesn't go away. Or maybe it's mixed and it doesn't go away, so you're in an emotional state for more than 3 minutes essentially. And it could be for hours, it could be for days, it could be for years, it could be for many years that you are in an emotional state. And then the yeah this that's how you discover this. That's how you prominent, and that's the difference between an emotion and a feeling. Because a feeling is something that is happening here and now. Something that emerges from here and now, and you can use it. So for example, you get the impulse, you get the feeling, the sensation, you get the information, you get the energy, and then you use the energy and the information to create action, to create an action in the world. So this is for action. Your feelings are about the here and now. I'm gonna put here and now, and they're about taking actions. Yeah, they're about navigating the present moment. So you can use navigating the present moment here and now. You get a feeling of anger, you feel it, you sense it, and it's not blocked. It has an expression, it has a continuation, and it has an action that it comes with it. So this is the feeling, and when there is an emotion, it's incomplete. So the purpose of having an emotion, because emotions are also valuable and their goal for you, because once you identify them, you can use those as healing doorways. So emotions are for healing, and these are for healing doorways. So in the example that we use, for example, you got left out in the car with your seatbelt on, and you couldn't get out for 3 minutes, and when you were young, and this triggered these emotions, you couldn't express them, you couldn't say them to anyone, and it got stuck, it got unexpressed, it got unseen, and you carry this on for the rest of your life as an adult, until you get this distinction, you start making your map, you start taking responsibility for your feelings, and you start noticing that you get triggered in certain situations with your partner or with your family where this same thing happens. And then you go into a healing process where you're like, holy shit, like this thing happened to me when I was 6 years old. And then you get to see this, and with a space holder, you get to do the completion process. You get to complete this, and once it gets completed, it essentially doesn't have to be said anymore. It's complete, it's finished. So as you are exploring your map of feelings, this is a huge distinction to keep in mind. Not to keep in mind, to start creating the distinction, this question of, is it a feeling or is it an emotion? Is it going for more than 3 minutes? It's an emotion, more likely. If you feel it, you express it, you channel it, and it moves on, it's a feeling. So feelings are less than 3 to 5 minutes, and emotions are more than 3 to 5 minutes. So if you have an emotion 3 to 5 minutes, it's likely an emotion. So once you have an emotion, if you're identifying, like saying like, holy shit, I've been angry for hours now and it's not going away, you're likely having an emotional reaction. So find out what it is about. What are you angry about? What are you scared about? What are you sad about? What are you happy about? Because it could even be an emotional joy. And write it down in your journal. Write it down in the last page of your journal, and bring this to an emotional healing process, which we're gonna talk about in the second module. So that's it for now for feelings and emotions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.